Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Spicy Ramen Podcast, serving you some hot anime for the streets.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Spicy Ramen Podcast coming back for the recap of the 12 bowls of anime. Yes, the 12 bowls of anime. I finally got that.
Oh,
right.
Thank you, Jesus.
So this list, and I mean this list, now that we can finally talk about it, I feel like it's finally being seen how bad each list was so unique and so different. There was, I think, total 3 or 4 in outside of the top 3 that actually hit everyone's list. Shaq, you want to start yours off because you have the most. I think you have the most unique list. I feel like me and JP we kind of hit, but yours was the most unique.
Yeah, so like my top 12 protagonist list wasn't in a particular order from like 12 to 1, 12 being the worst, 1 being the best, but just like the 12 that like off the top of my head when I think about series that these are the guys that like that fit the bill for me. And most of those who know me, like I said, like most of my favorite characters are like the martial arts guys, the sword wielding guys, or like the mech suit guys or whatever. But I guess for the purpose of this 12 bowls of ramen show we did, that like I kind of wanted to change it up and kind of just wanted to go into more of the detail of like what the character was, what the character did in the story, how that, like I've said before, I'm not trying to do my teacher hat right now, but how that character kind of just like did their thing and kind of made that impact in the show and towards the audience in a whole. So going with it, I'll be real brief on every character, like a quick minute on everyone. Like we did with the bottom ones, Nafumi from Rising of the Shield Hero, of course. Like even though they only have one season, like that one unique character who's the main protagonist but doesn't get main protagonist treatment, and him going through all of that. Another one was, of course, Deku from My Hero Academia. Like we said before on the list, someone who's pretty much started from the bottom. Now he's here. I mean, he's not there, but he's getting there. Ren Okamura from Blue Exorcist, like we mentioned before when he's on the bottom list from the previous episodes. Make sure you guys check that out. If you're watching it late, make sure you go back and check it out. Him just going through adversity of being who he is, the son of Satan, and all that good stuff. Also, so a couple other characters who was on my list that wasn't on the actual list. One was Kuro Sensei from Assassination Classroom. Like, this guy was just like one of those, just like a teacher who's for the kids, man. Like, even though his scenario, how he got to that position was fucked up. Well, not fucked up, but just like sad. But that teacher was for the kids, man.
Yeah, he was though. He was.
He really was. Was he? No. Another one was Simone from Gurren Lagann. Like, Gurren Lagann was just an intense, wild ride. And when you thought that the other guy, what's his name? Oh my god. When you think the first guy you see in the episode is the main character, he fucking dies, and you're like, oh well, shit, who's the main character now? And then you see little Simone, who you think is just like, oh, he's just gonna be that side character, steps up in like a major way and makes this quick 180 of a character, and just turns it all around and like, oh, this dude actually stepped up and did his thing, Another.
It is in a way, but it's not to the point where he's giving away anything of the story itself.
Because I haven't finished it. That was the only reason why.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, how far are you?
You're straight. I'm not even like tripping because I don't even like you like that.
What?
But now that you said that, I'm actually more interested in watching it. So that worked out.
Like I said, like Gurren Lagann like puts you on a whole roller coaster ride like that you will not expect.
And I gotta shout out to Shaq because he really be putting me. Like, I watch random anime. When I mean I'll watch random anime, you will see me watching Dragon Art Academy and I have no idea what it is, but I'll watch the entire first season just because. And for those who knows what Dragon Art Academy is, you'll understand why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he will literally tell me about an anime. I will find something like random. I'll start watching it, and then literally the next week he'll be talking about the main character being his number one hero. I'm like, yo, all right, so he be on the same random stuff I do. I appreciate this.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when it's like that, like I said before, like when they have those certain requirements of the main character, you know what I'm saying? Then like it's I mean, respect is where respect is due, you know? Um another let me see. Another character I low key kind of wanted on the list, but I'm cool that he wasn't. What is Shiro Emiya from specifically from Fate Stay Night. Like if, for those who don't know what Fate Stay Night is or what the Fate anime series is, it's okay because this is a very confusing ass series. It's a series that's based off a novel that sometimes is based off, I guess, a couple of games. For those Fate fans that are saying that I'm wrong in some kind of capacity, I understand that because Fate fans are assholes too. Not as bad as JoJo fans, but still the same.
Our Lord and Savior JoJo.
But
I need to watch that one.
No, you don't. It's okay.
but Shiro Emiya in the Fate Stay Night series is a character he kind of starts off looking like that stereotypical protagonist where he has the specific goal that he wants to achieve, and he goes through all these different obstacles to achieve that, but it's like specific twist in the story that like this is if there's one thing I don't want to spoil is what happens to him in this story, but like it's just so much that like his the main obstacle that this character has to face in his story and how he achieves it is just phenomenal to me. Like I really that's as far as I can go without spoiling anything else. For those who've seen Fate Stay Night, which is available on Netflix now, it's really awesome. And that's all I can say because I really can't spoil this character. I think besides after Shiro Emiya, I think the rest of my characters on my list was on the top 12 list. No, I'm sorry, there was one more character that didn't make the list. I think we're gonna save to the end that all three of us talk about, so I'll leave him alone. But I think the biggest surprise from these guys in the podcast that I had on my list was Lelouch v. Britannia from Code Geass. Originally in our discussion, a lot of they raised their eyebrows at me pretty hard. Like I I feel like the best way I can summarize it in a shorter sense from what I said in the previous episode is that like you have to really just like see this character as he's introduced, understand his mindset, what his truth that he believes in versus the outcome towards the end. You'll see like a really huge connection that you don't really see in too many characters in that deep of sense. But at the same time, maybe I'm just reading too much into this shit. Maybe I was high when I was watching this. Maybe I was drunk when I was watching this. But
Which is okay to be. I mean, some you got to do that to get through.
Some of them you don't, man, because that would be a white. Like you can't watch Death Note high. Like I feel like you'll be asking way too many questions.
Yeah, you'll be like, hey, yo, what if someone really did get that? You're not telling anybody your real name.
Bruh.
Yo, that's how I felt about Parasite. I was like, yo, I can't smoke while we're watching this. Like, no.
Oh my god. I couldn't be drunk watching Parasite. I'd be thinking that mug in my hand. Like I couldn't look at my hands the same. But my list, like I said, like I had a few interesting characters on my list, like I said, Lelouch v. Britannia from Code Geass being the biggest eyebrow raiser, which I'm glad he made the list. Definitely, there's a lot more to be added, but like we said before, guys, with this list, not saying that anybody else that we may or may not mention was not able. Like I said, please mention in the comment sections. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up on our Facebook page, and let us know who should have been on this list. What kind of list you guys had. And say let your voices be heard, and we can be able to talk more about it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're here for you guys, all right? And I think that's pretty much for me, guys. Like I said, I don't want to crack open this book and go professor mode again. So I know they're really making sure I don't do this. So I'm done. I'm gonna be done for right there. I might have some comments later, but I'm gonna save the last guy the big monkey in the room. I'm gonna say that towards the end
Yeah, that
once
works.
everybody else is done.
All right.
And I think, especially with continuing on, I think my list was kind of more generic because it focused on a lot of things that I felt got the most attention over the past decade. And especially for me, because like I said, I looked at my Hulu and my Crunchyroll list yesterday. I have watched individually over 70 different shows. So I
That's only 70. That's cute.
yeah, like I mean, I know for some it's like, oh yeah, he doesn't really watch. He's not an anime
it's
fan.
it's somebody in the comment section that's be like only 70, fucking new.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, man, when you're watching so much and you're getting so much information from different animes, it's the ones that stuck out the most for me. So on my list, not going into the details of the ones that we are already went over for our top 12. The number one that I wanted on there that I know I couldn't be on there, y'all should already know, is my boy Shin from Kingdom. Oh my god. I was so mad I could not put my boy Shin on there. The man did so much for the dynasty, and he just did the biggest. I can't spoil it. But man, my boy Shin is doing the most right now. If y'all are manga readers, please, please, please read on Shin and the Kingdom Dynasty. Please, like right now, get out the books, get out whatever manga thing you can read on, and look out for my boy Shin. The man is what, 16, 17 now? He going on 18 probably, and is about to be the general of the heavens. I'm calling it to an existence now. Like he's the general of the heavens. I'm putting it out there. The next person I wanted to get out that I was, even when we talked about it, I'm pretty sure y'all can contest to this. We were on the fence with. He almost made it, but he didn't. Was Meliodas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, again, it was one of those where he is definitely getting the hype now. Like he's getting some more hype, but
Especially back after the last episode. Oh my god.
yeah, like he's definitely
Season
getting
3 is
hype.
on fire.
Yeah, I'm actually excited. I kind of think they messed up his fight scene. My
The whole
lion.
internet is going crazy over that. Everybody's raging like, "Oh, the fan video was better. Oh my god, this was garbage." Like, yo, chill, bro.
So yeah, it's definitely. But I feel like he could have made it. Great honorable mention right there. He should have been one of those that he was definitely on the fence with. Another person that I felt like got the short end of the stick only because it didn't, honestly, because of it didn't get that much popularity inside of our group as a whole, was Rock from Black Clover. Oh no, not Black Clover. I can't. Why am I Black Lagoon? Not Black Clover. Black Lagoon. I know y'all probably because of it's not really that popular, but if I was to say a main character who was into the worst possible scenario, and when I mean worst and making it his best, it fell in line with what I believe as a MC doing the most.
I gotta watch Black Lagoon.
Yeah, man, Black Lagoon, and the reason why I fell in love with Black Lagoon and why it stuck out to me so much is because my wife, who's not a anime, she's not a fan of anime at all. But even with her, she wanted to watch Black Lagoon. I was like, all right, so like this got to be good because she almost stuck her nose up at My Hero. So it's one of those shows where it really, from episode one, it pulls you in and it doesn't let go. It's one of those where you watch and you binge until you get through it all. I think majority actually of the ones that I had on here, and the only other one that I wanted to shed some light on, which I don't even believe they're still over with, but it's Overlord. Overlord, to me, the King of Nazarick, He was a beast, and he will
Yes,
forever be a beast to me. Again, as far as decade hype, real big reach on that. Maybe almost year hype. Definitely continues. The next season needs to come out like time now. I think they're on season 3, but season 4 needs to hurry up and come out. But yeah,
no, I think I about to say I think no, I think no, never mind. It is season 3.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think the season 4 needs to definitely come out. But yeah, that was my last one that I think should be. If it's not on that decade list, it definitely had a few years of going strong,
it did.
and it keeps getting relived. I think if it had an Adult Swim run, it would have definitely did way more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I'm not. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you myself. Like I didn't really know too much about Overlord until like I saw like some random battle videos on YouTube. 'Cause, YouTube loves to just like show battle scenes from animes, and you're just sitting there like, what is this action? And I just happened to see like a random one of him just being like a whole sorts of just like life hacks. Like, oh, you're gonna do this? Cool. Cheat code: up, down, left, right, A, B. Magic spell: destruction.
Yes. That is
Like
his
what?
life. That is his life. And I think in a reason why I didn't think he fit like the normal MC was because of how inhuman he was. I mean, he legit does not really care about humans. Like, there's just not. It's definitely something that he cares about, but he almost has that Luffy times 10 instance of he only cares about the people that he messes with. If he doesn't fuck with you, you can die. Like, you can die and burn, and he'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll actually practice how to kill you.
Oh, yo, he did some crazy stuff. Like it wasn't like too bad, but it was like whoa.
Oh, and another one where I know again it's not decade worthy, but Magi. I feel like Magi him and
Yeah,
Sinbad gotta get at least a little shout out. Like y'all boys
yeah,
definitely did it up. I know it's not decade worthy, but man.
yeah. The Magi series definitely was like a really cool magic anime, and like what I'm saying. I guess like Middle Eastern kind of territory or whatever,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
everyone was so colorful and all that good
It was
stuff.
just a vibe. I mean, I
It
appreciated.
was, it
Yeah,
was.
like I mean, there's other ones that we can bring up, but those to me are the ones that really stuck out. Like there's some of these that was coming. Like I had a list of 50, and it was like Blood Lad or Parasite, where it was like, yeah, they lasted for the year, but they wasn't like, oh my god, we gotta watch these. Like,
Yeah.
what? How about you, JP? What was yours?
Well, I low key feel disrespected because some of the animated characters that I had are from those animes that you said.
Shots
Yeah,
fired.
I mean,
Like,
okay,
some of the characters I like.
so again, as you can see, so the audience knows this was a legit argument. All right, like it wasn't one of those we say this and it wasn't real. No, everybody had opinions.
we t- for all you people who want to troll the list, we took a lot of things into consideration. So all y'all who want to put all this extra stuff in the comment section, do it or not. We really want to hear your voices, but we took some stuff into consideration. Please understand that.
Definitely. God Eater was another one where I was like, all right, but JP was yours.
Boy, stop. What?
And I'm gonna go and explain why my list is the way it is. I think mine is just due to there's pretty much I grew up on older anime and then kind of got away from it for a little bit, and then when I got back, I had already started like training and whatnot, so I wasn't trying to dive into too many animes. So I kind of started with just ones that were a lot shorter. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why my list is kind of the way it is. So I'm gonna start off with one of the characters, Shinichi Uzumi.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Mingy.
Well, yeah. That's you got.
Yo, like
Yeah, you got,
I see.
They're a package deal.
That,
They are definitely a package deal
They
character.
are from Parasite.
yes,
And
yes.
there's only episodes just about. But for me, for some reason, I really just like those two together. And it was kind of interesting because it's like at first he's a kind of like a timid character, and then he gets the parasite and goes through a whole change and emotional change. And he goes through some stuff.
Yeah.
But then he coming back around, and I think that was pretty dope. And I like just like the coming of age type story. I almost compared it to he went through puberty.
Man.
Superpowered puberty.
Because we went in depth on during our Halloween episode. We definitely went in depth on them. Like, I still hate that. What do you think of the ending? And again, you don't have to spoil it, but what was your opinion of the ending?
I fucking almost cried.
So during that final battle, when you thought that a certain person was gone, like, and this person was shriveling up, one of the protagonists, I was like, bruh, nah, man. I was like, come on now, dog. And then this man had a mixture of dreams and all that stuff, but then at the end, with all of it, I kind of was just like, I was like, so what the heck happened, actually?
Yeah.
It's like, did he come back or did he not? Like, but I don't know. I would probably give the anime itself was great, and then the ending, I was just like, I just kind of don't know. So I'm like, eh. But I like that kind of stuff. It's like I like weird animes that just end, because I grew up watching so many of them. It was like, oh yeah, that's just done. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So that's mine. So that's Shinichi. I had him on there. Did we have Dr. Stone on ours?
No, we did not.
Okay. So Dr. Stone is another one. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. What is his real name, actually?
Oh, you see, here you go with these powerful
Dr.
questions.
Stone. It's Dr. Stone. Run it. Just run with it. Just run with it. Hey, listen. You got the ball. Just roll it. Just roll with it.
The green onion leak-looking dude from Dr. Stone. I think he's pretty dope. What else do I have? Okay, this is another one from another just small anime. I liked Akane Tsunimura from Psychopaths.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, yeah.
I thought she was a pretty dope character. Struggled with a little bit of dealing with her job, but actually turned out to be one of the best ones. Went through some crap. I wish I could give her Enforcer, put him on the list, because I liked him even more. But he's not a main protagonist, so I didn't add him. And then Ryoko Matoi from Kill la Kill.
Oh, okay. Getting them dresses out. Getting them dresses out. I see you.
So I wanted to like start watching that show, but Kill la Kill, cause that's like one of those like balls to the wall insane action type of animes, and I'm all cool with it. But it just got to a certain extent that I was just like, I'm tired of this whole clothing thing. Like,
well, yeah, you won't be able to finish it because it's all about freedom of clothing and nudity and freedom of body. That's
like once it starts diving a little bit more into it, I was like, you know what? This is where I get off.
It's progressive.
Well, it's.
Yeah, I mean, because he went over about homosexuality. It was all about just freedom of expression, and I get it. I mean, it's one of those where it's like I understand where he was going with it, but the cheese pull of the clothes was like I mean, great show though, definitely amazing show. A lot of messages, and their protagonist was amazing.
Right, like, hey, nothing against it at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do, but it just got to a point where I was like, I will choose to stop, and I will continue on to another anime. Everybody else, God bless. That's all I can say about that.
Okay, so in this section, what we're gonna do is, this part is the honorable mentions, and we're gonna start it off with before we do Dragon Ball Z. which I know everybody wants to talk about.
Yep.
We're going to do the next one, or the first one that came to mind for us, which is One Punch Man. Um,
Yes.
I believe that it could have made our list. It's just the time span in which One Punch Man was on, and it's only been about 3 years if you think about it.
Yeah.
And
I
we've only
mean,
had 3 seasons.
No, two.
and on
He's only had
top of
two.
it,
Wait, it's 2?
Yeah, only two.
it's only
seasons.
2 seasons.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah,
bruh.
yeah, it's fresh, like fresh.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. What we can say. Well,
And
do we have
the
anybody?
second part is that the protagonist really isn't a protagonist. Like, he's a comedy protagonist. It's like, yo, no, like,
Because cause like the title is One Punch Man, but it's more so about the world and just how he just happens to be there in it. Like, we get all these different superheroes, we got all these different supervillains and stuff like that, and like they go and you'll see all these other side stuff that happens to some of these characters and how they got to go through all these different problems, and then he just shows up and just like boom, done.
yeah, I feel like he's one of those. He's one of those people where like you can go half the season without even watching him on scene, and he'll show up for about 2-3 episodes, kill a monster, and all right, I'm back out. Like, yeah,
Yeah, like he's more so like you get a warm fuzzy of just seeing him cameo, like seeing Stan Lee in a Marvel movie. Like you just see him one good scene, you're like, all right, cool, I'm good.
he's the
Like,
Chuck Norris
hey!
of his world.
He is. One of the biggest things about Saitama that I love personally is that he makes bald cool. Being bald is powerful now,
Yeah, he did. He
and it
definitely
forever
did.
be. Like when I like look, I can't even lie about this, guys. Like the years One Punch Man the anime came out was the same year I shaved my head, and I was so hyped. I was for it because I was very like I won't say timid, but I was like nervous about shaving my head for the first time, and I was like, "Yo, I feel like I'm gonna get looked at different, or like I don't know, maybe I don't know how
My
this is gonna
DMs
change
won't be
me."
the same.
Right, but then Saitama comes out and all these pictures about like you don't need hair to be powerful. He says that like he got so much strength in the bald. I was like, you know what? That's motherfucking right. Hell yeah, bald is powerful. And like my whole I won't say confidence, but like my whole attitude about it just like completely went 360.
Yeah,
And I appreciate One Punch Man for that.
and I think again, I appreciate One Punch Man. He does have morals. Like his workout, I tried to do for like a month, and my shins was like, "No, you can't do this no more." But
His workout is a challenge though, low key. Like you do that consistently every day, plus the other stipulations stuff like that. Like having no AC on during the summer, that's madness. You out of your mind. Like, that's gonna mentally tear you down at some point. I do it because I don't want my utility bill up. You did it for training. I did
another
it for saving
one,
money.
another one that I thought was could have been on the decade list, but their third season killed their entire franchise to me was Tokyo Ghoul. I feel like that had true decade power, but because of the third season, it died, or it didn't die, it slowly died on the anime piece. What was
Yeah.
your thoughts on Tokyo Ghoul? Because I swear that would have been my number one had they just had season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think if it was just season 1 and 2, cool. But like, cause they did like a complete turn where like Tokyo Ghoul is just like, hey, here's this episode, but watch the fucking manga.
Yeah,
Read the manga.
yeah.
Like, what's going on? Read the manga. Like, I've seen a lot of reviews on YouTube about this anime, and like a lot of other guys have also mentioned like this is the type of anime where it's like if you didn't read the manga, you don't know what the fuck's going on, and we're gonna keep it that way.
Yeah, I really felt like what they could have did and they should have done, which would have really saved a lot of time and would have had like Demon Slayer hype, was if they continued the storyline from season 2. If they would have continued the storyline from season 2, gave us all the
Yeah.
questions that we had needed to be answered. Like if he actually died, his best. Well, I can't tell you who we're
I'm about to say,
talking about, but
I say be careful.
but like if the people who were in the different clans that were shown in the last episodes of season 2, if they actually died or if they lived, who survived, who was the actual son, who was these people that like showed up towards the later episodes of season 2 that just was completely erased in season 3. I mean, yes, they did bring him back to an extent. He does get powerful in season 3, but it just never picked up what was so beautiful about season 2.
Yeah.
But again, that's my opinion. Y'all can actually jump in the comment section and tell us what y'all thought of Tokyo Ghoul and if it should have been one of those that hit the decade list. Another one that I know it's only because we don't watch it, but it's Haikuru, the volleyball anime.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, I don't watch it myself
Man,
personally either, but like, I see people going fucking batshit over
nuts.
I
that.
don't watch that one either, but I got a friend who's all about his sports. Actually, I think he was just in a group chat talking about volleyball.
Like
That
when you go to anime conventions and like you see like those like top tier cosplay outfits that are there, like that's one of them. Like I would say that's easily one of the
Yeah.
top 5 cosplay outfits that you would see at a convention.
And, I mean, again, I'm not a huge sports fan either. I can't, just because I'd rather watch the actual sport. But I think that's the one anime that I watched a few episodes of, and I was like, yo, like I see why this could be one of those type decade worthy animes.
Yeah.
But this is, I guess, the reason why it's on honorable mention is because even if it is like all of the personalities that you get from the team, the coach, all of that, I can see how someone can easily fall in love with sports anime. Well, no, I just knew that we had to at least acknowledge it and say that yes, there is plenty of sports animes that are out there that could have made the decades list. It's just we're not that type. Sorry, guys.
We'll try to do something for you guys at some point.
Yeah,
At some
we'll
point.
do a special to someone on sports.
So I'm gonna.
Watch him first.
Yeah, we do. We totally do. So I'm gonna make this a little left turn for another one I got for honorable mention. He didn't. Now I will agree that he didn't get a spot, but I feel like I just wanted to mention there's another one of those short animes that just came out of fucking nowhere, and like you either hated it or you loved it, but fucking Goblin Slayer, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
dude, this dude was a tank. like, like the first episode by itself just had me like easily. Easily had to be one of the one of the like top tier holy shit type animes. Like when you get those shows where like the first episode is going to show you everything that you didn't think you was going to see in the first episode, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it starts
did
off
that.
first 15 minutes. It was like, all right, so this is what we about.
Like,
Either
whoa.
you get with it or you get lost.
My list.
Yeah.
Like,
Yo,
and I would
no.
say like,
Wait,
and I'll
JP,
say
you
Goblin-
haven't watched Goblin Slayer yet, bro?
Bro, when I tell y'all that
Oh.
what I've been doing for the past few years is rewatching all the old anime from when I
Yeah.
was a kid,
Okay.
so I
Okay.
can remember it and argue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I started going off into like one-off rant, like Get Backers. Like I be talking about that, they're like people are like, what the hell is that? Or like Eden's Bowing.
ooh,
I was
oh
watching
man,
some
Ooh.
random stuff. Love
Yeah.
Hina, all these different things.
Oh.
Honestly, you can say I'm like a hipster.
Yeah, no, yeah. You use the unique one. Okay, so
But
Unique,
I will-
bro.
I will-
Unique.
yeah,
I will,
man.
I will say this though. Like Goblin Slayer is a quick anime, about 12, 13 episodes. Like you can get through it quick. I will say when you watch the first few episodes, be careful where you watch it, who you're around when you watch it, because it gets there.
Oh yeah. Like there's a borderline
It's
rape
free.
scene.
Like,
Just saying it
it's-
now. Like it's a borderline rape scene. Like that's how type of intense the show is.
Okay. So it's like Devilman Crybaby. Don't watch that around other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And but the main character, Goblin Slayer, he's like this stoic character, and like you're introduced to this fantasy world where everybody's like going out doing quests and everything, and he's like this one dude who's like he tells no one his real name. He just says my name is Goblin Slayer, and like every time he goes to the guild hall, he's like I need a Goblin Slayer job. Like that's his total purpose was just to kill goblins and like everyone gives him shit for it, you know.
Yep.
And it's like he became a high ranking warrior off of just killing goblins his whole life. But then like they showed a backstory of why he kills goblins, why he specifically only kills goblins and stuff like that. It's like Batman, but not like Batman at the same time.
Yeah, it's like if Batman were, it's like if Batman were to actually kill people.
There was
Yeah,
a
it's like
Batman
if,
that was killing people, like the alternate universe Batman.
Yeah, but there's also a
there is.
detective Batman, which just shows how trash Batman is.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So Goblin Slayer is like dark mental Batman, but not detective Batman.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
the only reason why like Goblin Slayer or how I got reincarnated as a slime, those type shows, it had a blimp of hype. Like it was like a year worthy. It could have been anime of that year, but it to say it had more than 2 years worth of anime hype. That's why I couldn't like put it on a decade list. Like Parasite, it had at least three,
yeah.
4 years of actual hype. Like I was like, yo, like for one season, it had at least 3 years worth of hype.
Yeah,
I would easily say the
it's
first.
24 episodes, so I feel like
Yeah.
you can. It's like
Yeah,
a lot of animes are 12 episodes in one season. I had 24, 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
One that I know y'all probably don't even know about too was that I really wanted to bring up, but I knew it was like a select area of people knowing was Nora of Rise of the Yokai Clan.
I know the show, and that's it.
Heard of it.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like again, I couldn't. There's no way for me to say that it's like decade worthy if people are like, "Yeah, I heard of that."
Well,
like if that made the list
one
and
too.
Dragon Ball Z couldn't make it, like
Yeah. So I got one too because I'm in that small decreasing circle of Gundam fans that we still exist, but it's getting smaller by the years now. But one character from a Gundam series that I wanted, but I knew it wasn't going to be possible was a character named Setsuna F. Seiya from Gundam 00. That show was actually instead of on Toonami, it was actually on Sci-Fi. It was on the Sci-Fi channel for a couple of years. So that like because they had like a whole Anime Monday kind of thing, and it was like one of the starting lineups as far as like for the Sci-Fi channel, and that's how I ended up finding it. And this like a lot of other people when they think of Gundam, they think of Gundam Wing. G Gundam Fighters, which is one of my favorite Gundam series of all time. I'm gonna put that out there right now. And like this particular character from the Gundam 00 series was like I said, he's one of those like silent but deadly kind of characters where like he doesn't talk too much, but when he talks, it's about something like traumatic within the story, and then like you learn the background of the character. Like first thing about this character, he's Middle East. He's Middle Eastern. Like Setsuna F. Seiya is an alias. His actual name was something else that's Middle Eastern, and he grew up as a guerrilla warfare child in the Middle East.
yeah,
So like,
beast,
so this kid's a beast.
beast, straight beast.
And like his biggest struggle was like kind of like going through this whole thing about like him trying to help change the world and end conflict, but also coming from a world because he's coming from a world of conflict. So it's like it's kind of justifiable that he's trying to like be a peacemaker because of the world he was introduced to. And like one of the biggest things, like every anime character has that one big thing about them that's like, oh crap, he's about that life. In one of the episodes, just to make it short, in order for him to be a part of this the guerrilla warfare terrorist group, he had to kill his family.
Oh, did you ever hear of my guy Itachi?
No, I'm saying, okay. No,
I know.
listen, though.
I'm just fucking with you.
And I know he's gonna get there. I'm just saying though, like, the way his was, because granted, we knew about Itachi killing the Uchiha clan for years, but we never saw how it happened until like the very end.
Yeah. Oh,
But I know,
and
like,
for those who didn't know, Itachi in the original Naruto. If you didn't watch Naruto, the original Naruto, you would have never known. But Itachi kills his family. Don't know if y'all knew that or not, but yeah.
I think if you're listening to this podcast, you know that already.
Yeah, hopefully.
I
We're
feel like
not
that's just
trying
like
to
I feel
insult
like
your intelligence. We're just saying, like,
I might.
another blimp type hype that I think if you haven't watched it yet, and please let me know in the comment section if you have. But Dora Rora, like I don't even know how to say it correctly.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. The ara ara ra 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 ra. Like,
All
I
right, you gonna get
think
all right. Y'all gonna get JoJo people on the comment section. Oh no. I don't want to hear that shit.
I think that show has such a huge storyline. Like, it's so simplistic. It's a very simplistic show. It's literally about a corner and how one corner is changed by 4 or 5 people and how gang life plays into it. But oh my god, that storyline was amazing.
It was definitely a very unique story.
Oh yeah, like it's one of those shows where you're in episode 5, you're like, what the hell am I watching? And then they start hitting you with plot twists after plot
Yep.
twists after plot twists.
So I dove into this. I dove into the show because I saw a scene where what's the guy with the glasses who has like a serious anger issue?
Oh, the brother, that one that has no scent, no I know what you're talking about. I forgot his name
Who
though.
has the dumb strength and like he literally punched the like there's a character on the show that literally punched the clothes off of somebody.
yeah. Knocked him naked. Yeah.
Like what's that Morty meme? As soon as I saw that, I was like, son of a bitch, sign me up.
Like the Rick and Morty show, you son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch, sign me up. Like I saw that scene, I was like, we're on to something here. Then I saw everything else. I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? You got kid problems and friendship and fucking treachery and everyone fucking texting every episode and shit. Like, goddamn. So I had one more, and that's somewhere like I don't know.
What you about to say, Yu-Gi-Oh?
You know what? Go sit down. Go to a corner.
I mean, technically, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon both have series out within the decade.
If I was going to talk about that, listen, if I was going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, I was going to talk about first generation.
Yeah, and of course, that's not what we're. Yeah, that's 2001, so we can't do that.
That's the only one I was going to mention because first off, the main character towards the end, you see that he's an Egyptian pharaoh from Africa. Come on, people! Like, I'm not gonna be all. I'm gonna be the woken black guy about that. I'm gonna leave that alone. But the character I want the character I would say characters I want to talk about was Tatsumi from a Kame ga Kill. There
Oh
it is.
yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Like, did you mention them already?
No, I literally just like that was the opening. I was like, oh, "What you about to talk about? Agakimi Kill?" And sure enough, you.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean,
because like this one I don't want to spoil at all. I really don't. Like I definitely as far as the main character and characters in general for this show. Like I said, this is one of those short animes that came around and then just disappeared and like you just left you with so many other questions. Like I would say like this one, like I said, the main character was not like, holy crap, this dude is cool, but like the some stuff is just like, whoa, what? It just like left you. It just left you like confused.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it kind of has like the One Punch Man, not comedy piece, but how the main character really isn't the main focus. The world and how it's affected by its police versus the enemy, almost like the One Piece effect, where the military are the bad people and the people who are fighting against the military, the resistance, is the real people.
Yeah, it's more focused on the good versus evil aspect versus the growth of the character.
Yeah, because the
So
character in the end, like
let's not.
he.
No, 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 no. Let's. I will say I thoroughly do not want to spoil that one. So we'll leave it at that. But I guess now we can just dive into the big man himself.
All right. For a few people, really.
Yeah, this is
Like I
this.
say, a few people, like damn near majority of anime.
Yeah. So all of
You can't.
America now that is had decided to watch Super.
Right, just all of a sudden, it's cool. It's cool now.
Like,
Which that's gonna be a whole nother top. That's gonna be a whole nother topic. We're gonna do another episode about that one. That might end up being like a rant episode.
yeah, I mean, again, I have Goku tatted. Like, I'm a Dragon Ball Z to the heart fan. However, y'all came out with one series,
Don't you
one
say it.
series this decade, and y'all getting decade of the year awards, like anime of the decade. I can't do it. Like, I can't. To me, what's your thoughts?
So, well, no, JP, I'm gonna let you go. This I might have to put on my teacher hat for this one.
My whole thing on Dragon Ball Super is that, I mean, Goku is like, yeah, but like Justin said, it's just one series, and then also it's Dragon Ball Z. It's like Dragon Ball Z is a classic. Goku's a classic. We all love him. He made people want to do push-ups and high gravity and all that stuff. But it's like I just can't put him on these lists. It's like he's honorable mention, but that's it. It's like the show is the same stuff to me. I honestly get tired of watching Dragon Ball Z sometimes.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, of course.
Like, we already know how this is gonna go.
Yes.
Goku's gonna go out here. He's not gonna take it seriously. He's gonna start getting beat up. He's gonna take it a little seriously. Person stronger than he thought. He does a little bit, then gets beat up again, and then he gets hit with a big power up. And then it's just like,
Wait. You forgot the scenario. So he fights first. He goes to Super Saiyan. Then, as he's going to Super Saiyan, he realizes that Super Saiyan wasn't enough. So then he goes to Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan Blue.
We're not even going to talk about Super Saiyan Blue. Oh my sweet Lord Jesus.
Then he goes Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, because, he added Kaioken mid-super. Then he's going to come close to death. He's going to get knocked down, beat up, and then he's going to realize Super Saiyan Kaioken isn't enough. So he got to go times 30. Then, he's going to get knocked down again.
Hold up. First off, it was times 20, not 30.
Oh. You got the levels to the Kaioken, all right? You got to get the levels to the Kaioken.
I was saying, I just did that small correction for Dragon Ball Super trolls. That's gonna correct you. Because someone's gonna say it.
I feel like back in 1998 when they had Dragon Ball Z, the original, they should have did what Naruto is trying to do now, which is kill off the MC and continued with the family. It's possible. You can do it. There's other animes that do it quite well. You just need to move on. And I get why Naruto isn't able to do it, because the entire show is called The MC. Dragon Ball Z is not about the main character. Like, yes, they made it into that, but again, I understand why it is the big three. I understand why it's such a huge show, because we are still talking about a show that came out in the 80s. Like, it has a 30-year run. It deserves all the credit and all the accolades that it gets. But if we're talking about a protagonist of the decade, my guy, you came out for a year. Like,
and I'd like to add that the fact of the matter is, he wasn't even supposed to continue being the main protagonist.
Yes.
Yeah, he wasn't. He really wasn't.
But then they were like, nah, let's bring... That's what I was like, bruh. And then the fact of the matter, they kept him the main protagonist, and then they just kept on doodling on everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like, when Piccolo gonna shine?
Oh, he about to.
Like, the
he
whole
about
community
to.
is like...
He about
the whole
to.
community is like, when is Piccolo gonna get his shine on? Like, he got a little... No, well, I would say in the manga, he got a couple highlights to previous chapters with his current story arc. I would say that. But
Yeah, him and Vegeta, they trying to push him, but
yo, Vegeta about to do this.
Vegeta's about to be the
Let me
man.
stop. Vegeta about to put in work.
We shall see, because people be saying that all the time, and then I see on Twitter and Facebook, they're like, bro, why they do him like that?
I don't know,
Alright,
man.
so-
I really feel like Dragon Ball Z again. I know Super dropped 2015 technically, if you want to go based on the Japanese drop.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it to us it hasn't hit until 2017, 2018 time. And I couldn't really, because of the one series that was rushed to me. It was rushed. And it didn't even really follow the manga the way it was supposed to.
Hold on. Now I gotta say, as far as the Dragon Ball manga and the anime, as far like, cause I kind of that was like the one only rare time that I kind of like went back and forth with both of them as they was going. I would say that the manga and the manga were doing two totally separate things. Like they were not on the same. They were not like I promise you 100% that they were not on the same page. Like the writers at Funimation, not Funimation, but the writers and animators and storytellers for the anime were not in communication with the manga writer at all. Like
Because
they were
they had to
they were
rush it. They had timelines that they had to hit.
It's not that they had timelines they had to hit. It's just that like certain animators that were working on Dragon Ball Super had other things that were filling up their plates, and they had to get it knocked out. So yeah, it is like that. But as far as like story wise, they had to get to a certain point in order for them to get the movie out, because the movie was already in production at a certain point during the anime. So they had to make sure that like the anime was done at this point, so the movie can come out on schedule.
And I think that's
And then
trash.
and yet, granted, totally understand that. And then also with that, like and then the manga was a totally different story, because as even when like the anime was already done, it was still going with the Tournament of Power. But they made, like, I promise you, like, for those who haven't read the Dragon Ball Super manga, there's a lot of alternate changes in the Tournament of Power that happens that did not happen in the anime. Some of the ideas of fights in the manga were great ideas that should have happened in the anime, but I can see why it didn't. So it's okay. There's a whole bunch of differences and stuff. So it is what it is. But that's a whole other conversation in itself.
Yeah, again, I think that Dragon Ball Z definitely will always. It's one of the internals, I think, of legendary anime. It will always be talked about. Just like Yu Yu Hakusho, they haven't put out a show since the 90s.
But they did do an OVA recently.
They do an OVA, and it still gets enough hype to where they're like, we might do another season. Like, again, it's just one of those shows that regardless of what time it is, regardless of what era, if you say the name, people know. And I'm one of them. Like, Dragon Ball Z, you can't tell me Dragon Ball Z isn't great. I know what parts of Dragon Ball Z is trash. But if you don't say those parts, I'm gonna say you lying. And what are we talking about?
so my biggest thing is with Goku as a character and the Dragon Ball series as a whole. Granted, I'm not saying Goku isn't a good character. Goku is a good character, and like, but like it's more so of like what he represents, symbolism wise.
In the Super anime, the protagonist of Goku was trash.
Yeah, okay, I'll say that.
Character development,
trash.
garbage.
Trash.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it out right now. I'm a Vegeta fan. Like, when it comes to that line, I'm Vegeta all the way.
Character development, there's no way you could tell me Goku. I'm gonna put the whole world at risk just to go have a fight. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all couldn't think of anything better to write. Like,
right now, Now I will say, as far as like the reason why I would say like he's number one honorable mention, because Goku. Now, granted, this is a warning right now. Teacher hat might be on for a few minutes. This is a warning right now. So if you want to skip it, you can skip.
See, I'm telling you. Listen,
But,
write in the comment section by next month. I promise I'm gonna get a scholar drop or something for this bit.
That's what we want to call it, a Shaq's scholar drop.
Yep, the Shaq scholar drop. There it is.
All right, so this is the official Shaq scholar drop. my big thing about Son Goku as a character is that I would say from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z and a little bit of GT, not a lot, because I understand we don't talk about GT that much. There's only certain things about talking about GT,
Mm-hmm.
but I digress.
The series
The
that never
biggest
happened.
Trash.
Except for
Trash.
Super Saiyan 4. Except for Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 happened, and we all freaking love it. That's y'all gonna get on my soapbox, people. Okay. Anyway, the biggest thing about Son Goku as a character is that like he has good symbolism as a character, as someone who represents being your natural limits. Because I know one of the biggest discussions in internet history has always been Goku versus Superman, Goku versus Superman, and the reason why that kind of debate is always the biggest iconic thing on the internet is that you're talking about two characters that are one who's Goku, a man who's trying to beat the natural limits of man, and Superman who is naturally, I mean, when it boils down to it, who's a god who is trying to live in the world of man. And I'm not
And
going to go
that
to.
doesn't even make sense to me because neither one of them are man. Neither one of them are human.
I'm talking about symbolism wise, damn it. I'm talking about storytelling and symbolism wise, okay?
I get it. I get it, but I don't get it.
Okay. That's why I gave the warning already. That's why I gave the warning for my Shaq Scholar segment.
I get
okay.
you.
And like I was saying before, Son Goku with all these different obstacles that he goes through with certain story arcs, the ones that make sense. And that like the stuff that he does to reach the next limit and to show that like once you reach your limit, there's something you can reach farther. Like there shouldn't be a stopping point for your growth as a person. To kind of like get that main message as a character. Now him as a character within the story, it's a couple of times where it's like, all right, Goku, what the fuck? Seriously? Someone get Akira Toriyama on the phone. This is ridiculous. But besides that, he's still recognized as a incredible character for symbolic purposes, not more for symbolic purposes and less for how he is as a character within the story. Because he's also on that list of like top worst dads, also. So
Yeah, he is.
Toxic dads?
Yeah, yes, he is.
top worst.
Oh, yeah.
Because hey, I would say right now, like ladies, if you ask a guy who's his favorite character from Dragon Ball Z and he says Piccolo, that's a good father. If he says Vegeta, that's a stable, maybe questionable father.
Vegeta at least cares about his kids. He cares about
Yes.
Bulma.
Yes. He cares about wifey. Yeah, I would say that. He cares about wifey. If you say Goku, that nigga neglects.
Vegeta is a typical training dad. Like he's one of those fighting dads. To me, he's one of those where yes, I need to, as a professional fighter, I need to put this ahead of myself and put it ahead about what I want because this is what my profession is. But I definitely love my kids. I definitely love my wife. I know what my morals and values are. As if he was a professional football player, that's exactly how I see a professional football player lives.
Definitely UFC, a professional UFC fighter, bro.
Yeah, like hands down.
Like Vegeta would be that.
He'd be meaner than a lot of the guys that I know.
Like
a lot of these dudes, I'm like, yo, they like love their kids. I'm like, how you this mean it? But yeah, there's also a few that are really like Vegeta as well. Actually, I think there's probably a lot more that are like Vegeta than not like Vegeta.
See? And that's what I'm saying. Like, man, again, I think that the writers did him perfect.
Yeah, I would definitely say that they gave him justice, man. Shout out to Chris Sabat, also like one of the best English voice actors in the game, man.
Yes, ever.
Like when you say Vegeta, and like that's one of the things like for like the whole dub versus sub. That's the one thing you can't argue about is Chris Sabat. Like his voice for Vegeta is just like amazing. And then also he also does Piccolo and Yamcha. We don't care much about Yamcha, but we recognize that it's from Chris Sabat, so we're cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
We used to care about Yamcha. Yamcha was something.
Yo, he was dope in Dragon Ball. When he did Wolf Fang Fist, I was like, yo, he the GOAT. But after that, after like towards the end of Dragon Ball, I was like, oh shit.
I mean,
This
but
ain't
we're
looking
also
good.
talking about like when Tien came out with 4 arms and no one said a word.
Bro, I thought that. Well, then at the same time, you know what I'm saying. This is like Dragon Ball was mostly all like martial arts and magic. So it was like, whoa. But okay, I can kind of see that. I mean, he has 3 eyes, so like 4 arms. Like, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. He's a full
okay.
blown. He's Gordo. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I was like, oh, so this is like the human version of Gordo.
Right.
Is there anything y'all boys got for like new anime alerts or new manga that y'all came across? Anything like that?
I ain't got nothing new in terms of recent, but I did start watching Inuyashaka or Inuyashiki.
Inuyashiki, the finger bullet.
Bang.
Bang. Oh man, yeah. My brother tried to put me onto that. I've watched a few episodes, as you could tell, but I haven't gotten into it yet.
Well, that's about it. I've just been trying to keep on grinding One Piece. I hit my year where I started One Piece.
Hey,
So we're watching. I'm on episode 770 something, I think.
Hey, catching up. You're probably close to Whole Cake Island by now.
I purposely slowed myself down. So I'm like, I don't want to be that person that's waiting each week for One Piece.
Yeah,
I kind of just.
I'm letting it build up. I read the manga, but I'm letting the anime build up. I'm getting at least. I'll wait till about 10 episodes and then I watch them all through.
Okay, that's not a bad play.
Yeah. As far as I go, I got one manga and one anime actually. The manga is called Solo Leveling. I don't know if you ever heard of it yet, but it is a fire manga. I actually read all 100 chapters same day. Like,
Damn.
yeah, like it was because I couldn't stop. I couldn't put it down. Like, luckily, I didn't have anything going on that day, so I was able to just sit there and read it all. But yeah, no, Solo Leveling was one of those. Like, it's it's about a person who is inside of a almost like a Goblin Slayer type world where there's a whole bunch of different boards and dungeons that you can go into, and
Yeah.
instead of it being like that, medieval time, it's actually in like current time or modern era, and it's a profession. Like, so they have professional people who go into these dungeons and go into these places to destroy demons.
Okay.
They have a whole class system. How you're paid is based on what class you are. And this one person, he decides to take up the profession. They don't explain why so much in the first few episodes, but he takes up this profession and he is horrible at it. Like, if it wasn't for his ability to regain health during battles, he would die every time he went into a dungeon. And he finds himself in one of the biggest like dungeons that they have ever seen, or like an S-class dungeon. And he's the only one that's able, because it's all mechanical, this dungeon, and he's the only one that's able to figure it out. Because he's able to figure it out, he gets this power up, of course. And from there on, it's hell and high water for all dungeons. And he just goes from there. And I mean, the animations, the drawings, they actually just recently did a promo for the anime that they're going to be coming out with it. And their promo is almost as good as the manga. Like, I was pulled into the when I mean, this is only a minute long video, and I'll put it in the chat so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But oh my god, I was like, all
Yeah.
right, like this is gonna be. I can't wait for them to really do this.
Okay, cool.
Like this in the anime that I have for everybody, which I'm just not starting to because it's really brand new for it came out last year. As I'm saying last year, like it was so far behind. Uh, but it's called No Guns Life.
Oh,
Um,
I've seen that one. Yeah, I haven't started that one yet.
yeah, I've watched a few episodes so far, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's about a where I'm at right now. They haven't explained if it's human or not, but it's about a gun who is a detective, and they go around, and I can't give anything. It's a cyborg human. I'm gonna call him, but yeah, that in itself should tell you how far it goes. It's insane. It's blood. It's a lot that goes
Oh,
on. But yeah,
I
that's it.
know. Let me see. I know for me. So I recently saw an article that said that Death Note is getting a spin-off manga that's going to be coming out soon in either later this month or in February. I can't remember the date. I'll probably mention it on the next episode. Anime wise, for those who still keep up with My Hero Academia, their movie came out this past month in December. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. No release date for English yet. I know last year, a little later, well, what's 2018? When their first movie came out, I know myself and Justin and a few others, we went to see that movie, and that was amazing, guys. If y'all have never went to a movie theater to see an anime movie release, it's fun. It's awesome. I think it's a whole vibe, man. I think we also did the same thing when Dragon Ball Super Broly came out. That was wild. That was wild too.
That one was a beast to see in theaters.
Yes, that like if you've never had experience seeing a anime movie in theaters, guys, we highly recommend it. It's a whole
Oh, and
different
I
kind of
finally
vibe.
get to talk about this because y'all. Well, I'm gonna give it some more time so I can truly dive in the way I want to. But My Hero Academia, if y'all are not watching this anime, and if y'all have not watched
Ooh,
the most recent episodes,
oh man.
please, it behooves you to go and watch these shows.
he, hold up, big
Please.
words. He's going in.
Yes, yes, yes. Please, when I mean please go and watch these shows, man. Because what's
Yes.
happening right now in My Hero Academia, man, oh man, it's getting real. It's getting real. People are getting hurt. And it's only, and I know it's sad to say for the manga readers, y'all know what I'm about to say, but it's only the beginning.
Manga Raiders, don't spoil it. Us anime watchers are getting hyped right now. Don't
Yes,
fuck
yes.
this up. Don't fuck this up for us.
Someone's gonna comment something spoiling it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I already see it coming. I already see it coming.
But yeah,
It's
no,
all good.
it's definitely shout out to the anime, man. I gotta give they roses now. My Hero Academia anime has definitely portrayed everything from the manga without a hitch. There has not been any hesitation. There have been certain times like with Red Riot where it definitely had way more damage than I thought it was way more damage in the manga than it did in the anime, but it still portrayed it beautifully. And I just got to give that shout out. They did it. They're doing an amazing job with this anime.
Oh yeah. But guys, we want to thank you guys again for enjoying this segment with us, the 12 bowls anime for our for our holiday special, our first run for the podcast. Hopefully everything went well, and we're hoping that like when Christmas comes again around for next year, that our next top 12 list will be just as good as this previous one. And if y'all have any ideas for us later on down the line before December, man, let us know. You know what I'm saying? Hit us up on all our social media. Hit us up on Spotify, Podbean, YouTube. Let us know, guys. We're trying to make sure that like every show we put out be better than the next one. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate everybody who's been making the comments on all of our platforms, letting us know about their ideas and views and everything. And we just want to make sure we continue to grow as a podcast for you guys.
And I just want to
Sorry.
say thank y'all. I know I'm getting the messages. We will try to get on iTunes as soon as possible. I know I've been getting some feedback about that. And thank y'all for on the Spicy Ramen Gaming. If y'all haven't gotten onto it yet, take a look. We are doing the entire storyline of The Witcher. I know that the Netflix series had just came out. If you haven't watched it, watch it. The Witcher itself is about the aftermath, so to speak, of what happens inside the Netflix series. So if you watch the Netflix series and you go to our Spicy Ramen Gaming, you'll be able to see a little bit of the storyline from where it picks off. Again, take a look, enjoy, and thank y'all for viewing. I had a few people actually that's been constantly on with me. Thank y'all. I appreciate every time that y'all are on with me for The Witcher. But we will be doing something about either 2K or whatever. Again, we're still working on it. But I just want to give those shout outs now while I had the chance.
Yeah.
And of course, you're going to be hearing thank you again for listening in a few seconds. I just want to make sure that y'all know we do listen. We do hear y'all. And again, thank y'all for listening to the show. Please leave a comment on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you get us, however you consume us. We appreciate it, and just let us know that, hey, if we slacking on one of these social media sites, if you feel like, y'all need to do better, please send out that tweet, please send out that text or comment on one of the platforms.
And tag us and share.
Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you for listening. We out.
We up out of here.
See you next week.
Peace. Just want to say thank you again for listening to us. This is the Spicy Ramen Podcast. You can follow us or share, subscribe at Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter. Our hook line or @ is Spicy Ramen Podcast. Again, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Peace.
Soul to soul.